This story is, I'm so fascinated by it. Christine Lazar is here to break down the case and what it could really mean long term.
Well, yeah, whenever you have lawsuits like this, you have to remember that they can have larger ramifications for more than just the people named in the suit. And that's what some First Amendment attorneys are afraid of when you see stuff like this. Also, we've had lawsuits when people have left Yelp reviews. So this was kind of a Yelp review for dating, if you will, right? The First Amendment protects you from government persecution for speaking your mind, but it doesn't prevent someone from taking you to court because they don't like what you said about them online. Now a group of women say they're being bullied into silence by a guy who didn't like what they had to say about his dating behavior.
Anything is possible, really, when you meet strangers off the internet.
But most don't think comments about a bad date will lead to a defamation lawsuit filed by the guy they wish to forget.
I felt like I was being punked, honestly, just by the things that were coming out of his mouth.
Back in 2021, Olivia Berger had a single date with a guy she met online. She says she ended that date early and didn't think about him until years later when she saw this post in a private Facebook group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? The post had photos of her former date and read T in comments, asking if others had met him in person. Olivia weighed in.
I want to emphasize I had never had a date like this, ever.
Years before Olivia met him, Vanessa Valdez matched with him on a dating app. She also commented on the post.
Then I said, how is this guy still allowed to be on dating apps harassing women?
Vanessa says their first communication was anything but routine. He took issue with her having a male friend in one of her profile photos, and in a message called her a moron and wrote, "It's fun watching you burn."
And at that point, my stomach dropped. Hearing someone say it's fun watching you burn, a stranger from the internet, it was very unsettling.
Vanessa responded that he should stay away from women and get help before reporting him to the dating app. And that's the info she says she relayed on that Facebook post.
But in my post, I redacted his phone number and just tell the truth and share my experience.
But her version of the truth will now be put to the test. The guy she and Olivia and 10 other women claim to have dated and later dissed in the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group are now being sued for defamation, sex-based discrimination, and invasion of privacy by a man named Stuart Lucas Murray.
I think my initial reaction is, this can't go anywhere. There's nothing I said that wasn't true. But yeah, I felt silenced. I felt like I was being intimidated into silence.
And that could be a problem, according to defamation attorney Jeff Lewis.
In First Amendment world, we call that a chilling effect, meaning when people fear they're going to be sued, they either stop talking or they change what they're going to say because they're worried they're going to be sued.
Lewis says anyone can sue another person for what they say about them online, but that doesn't mean they'll win.
You know, the best way to avoid being sued for saying things on the internet is to say things that are true or that are opinion. And if you step outside of truth or opinion, there's a good chance you might get sued if it's something negative.
In this case, the women say that's what they did. They spoke their truth. Murray disagrees. In his lawsuit, he claims one of the women falsely said he was involved in the murder of his ex-wife. Another said he had STDs. Both Olivia and Vanessa say they never posted that or saw any other women make comments of that nature. In a statement to us, Murray says he has never met, much less dated, some of the women posting about him. He went on to accuse the women of catfishing him, saying they posted highly filtered and enhanced photos on their dating profiles, concluding perhaps these women are not successful at dating for obvious reasons. Lewis believes this case will make it to court.
Because a judge at this early stage can't believe one side or the other, that's a jury question. So this case will likely go to trial if it doesn't settle.
And without representation and not a lot of expendable income to fight a lawsuit, the women worry this could bankrupt them.
At the end of the day, these kinds of suits don't just affect me and Vanessa and our co-defendants, and I feel that a lot of times women are still being silenced.
In January, a similar lawsuit was filed in Chicago by a man who was also the subject of a post in the Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy? I did reach out to the moderator of that group, but she has not responded. Now, that moderator has created a fundraising page for the women in the Chicago lawsuit. The women here in Los Angeles have been contacting her because they need help hiring an attorney. They're young professionals. They don't have a lot of money laying around, and they said she hasn't been responsive. So they're frustrated by that. You know, they just feel like this is going to silence women, you know, similar to when a restaurant comes after someone when they write a bad Yelp review, they take it down. The women feel that, you know, they're trying to protect one another, not bash men, but just say, hey, there's some red flags here, you know, be cautious if you go out with this guy. And now this lawsuit, you know, it makes you wonder, should you just not post about it at all?
Yeah, what a story.
I mean, it is quite a story. But that's the problem with the internet now, right? Is that, like, anyone can go on and say anything, and there is the First Amendment, and so you're allowed to say what you want to say, especially if it is your opinion.
But you can also sue someone.
But you can also sue someone.
And even, you know, I'm not saying in this case, but just in general, even if the case doesn't have a lot of merit, you can still file it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And waste the other person's money and time and energy.
Yep.
Thank you, Christine.